everybody to the SIT podcast where we talk about entrepreneurship tips and tricks. We have the trio here, Spencer,
Israel,
and of course me, Tevin. Welcome. Today's sponsor is Honey. Honey is a free Google Chrome extension that searches all of the internet for promo codes. It automatically enters it at checkout to give you the savings that you need. Today, we're going to give some tips on thinking independently in business and why you should think independently. First thing first, Israel, what does it mean to think independently?
That's a great question, Tevin. In my personal opinion, I think thinking independently means to take a different perspective and don't take in bad influences. A non-entrepreneurial example is like if everyone is doing drugs and you take a different perspective and say no. You be different and you begin to think independently.
In addition to that, in business, thinking independently can help with starting out your business. When you are starting a business, in order to succeed, you must be different than your competitors in some way. If you follow and think like others, how are you going to be different? You're not. By not taking the influence from people who say it's a bad idea, you're putting your confidence into the business that you're starting. It also helps develop your personal skills, like being able to stand up for yourself and your beliefs.
Personally, I feel that it is hard to think independently. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to become independent. We live in such a timely, structured world that we don't have time or the thinking to be different.
Exactly.
So Spencer, how do we train ourselves to think independently?
Although it initially seems hard to do, it's actually quite simple. All you have to do is break it down into simpler parts. First of all, you start with a question, or start to question everything you're doing in your life. Questions like, what is my purpose? What's the point? Why am I doing this? These questions can help you start to take a different perspective.
Thanks, Spencer. Oh, I see. In a business sense, maybe we should find crazy or different ideas. This way we can think independently. Does independent thinking also help with all types of businesses, especially early stage businesses as well?
In my personal opinion, of course it does. For example, if one of your competitors adds something new to their business, you should think independently and be rational. You should ask yourself, should you add it or should you not? Don't always follow immediately just because they did it. Sometimes the most common way of thinking is a harder way of thinking. If you think differently, you could exploit something new and find a different method and be more lucrative.
Interesting point. One of the businesses that I know about is called Ubiquiti. Ubiquiti's mission was to provide a cheap and quality router to rural areas. Many people told the founder that it was impossible. They told him that the product was idiotic and wouldn't work. Yet, after a couple of years, Ubiquiti has become a multi-billion-dollar company.
That's a lot.
Great example, Tevin. His independent thinking is what allowed him to succeed and surpass his competitors. If you follow your competitors and do everything they do, you will be no different or any better than them.
Okay, that will sum up this week's broadcast of the Entrepreneurship Tips and Tricks series of the SIT podcast. Hopefully you guys learned something new today, and see you next time.
See you.
Don't forget to download Honey today.